live, so tell the streaming platform hello.
Hey.
Yeah, that meant you too. If you say something, don't close your mouth. I swear I start roasting you. So listen, hey, listen. I just want to welcome you all out. You can always start with creating what you want. We may have changed location, but we have not changed our mission or our purpose. All right. This did not have a gender attached to it. Didn't have an age attached to it. It had people attached to it. We were not race specific in welcoming people out or inviting anyone. We're not age specific or anything like that. We just want to make sure that we check on each other from time to time. We want to make sure that we offer a safe space for you all to feel like you can be vulnerable without being judged. So we welcome you out to be expressive, to listen to the panel, to share if that's what needs to be done, and just enjoy yourself and have a good time. All right. All right, y'all. Would you please welcome to the stage a man who's going to pray for you? Yeah, this is a stage. This is definitely a stage. Let me say what I'm saying. I swear to God. Welcome up here, the business, not Gerard. She don't walk up here like I'm gonna call her. Sit your ass up. Why your mama flounce up here? She ain't walk, she flounce. But you ain't not to your mama. Your mama was shaking her hips. All right, I'm just saying. Hey, Gerard. Tell your mama that. I'm playing. She don't look at her baby. Don't stop. All right, so welcome to the stage, the pastor of the Mount Pleasant Baptist Church in Jefferson, Texas. That's where it is, Jefferson, Texas. He ran a 5K this morning, and he does not look better than me. My little brother, David King. Clap until he makes it to the stage. Move, Billy!
Derek Keith in the house, y'all. What's going on, man? I can't move, man.
I know it.
We're gonna figure it out. Go ahead.
Yeah, mama said y'all figure it out. Mama, don't worry, mama. Again, welcome to the stage one more time. Thank you. Hey y'all, we're gonna pray real quick. I know we figured out seating arrangements. We're gonna go ahead and pray real quick.
Let us bow briefly right where you are. God our Father, we say thank you for the day and the time that we have together. God, we thank you for this time that's been etched out in history that matters to deal with our mental status. God, we ask today that every panelist would commit themselves to the conscience of every man and woman in this place. We pray that this is a space for deliverance, for healing, for breakthrough, and ultimately for you to get the glory out of everything that we do in this space. So God, right now in the name of Jesus, we ask that we lay every weight and sin aside, that God, and give ourselves fully in this moment to where we can be free from whatever mental bondage we have. So God, we pray that your anointing fall fresh in this space, that you turn this room into a sanctuary and a space for healing. So God, we love you. We thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Yeah, well, let's go.
Hey, you got time to speak to people in a few. Sit down. I'm just saying, yeah, listen. Listen, all right, so let's do an exercise. If you can hear the sound of my voice, clap once. If you can hear the sound of my voice, clap twice. All right, that's how I make sure we got everybody together. Make sure, listen, we have our let's love on our seniors that came out. Let's give a round of applause. what I want you to do is not dismiss the amount of wisdom that's in this room, because there's plenty of it in here. Listen here, older people should be found with counsel. Don't write them off and think that because they don't walk as fast as you walk or talk as good as you talk, they don't have a lot of wisdom. They have plenty, and I hope that they are willing to share it with us on it. And that's just my hope. You tell me, come on. You tell your grandbaby, she don't want to walk past me while I'm talking. Come on, grandbaby. She ain't won't come nowhere. She did. Girl, we proud of you. How old are you? What grade are you in? She 15? Listen, how old are you, sir? 14. You look big old 14. You better say 26. We'll say 14. 16. We got some young people in here. 17. Listen, we got some young people in here. Man, how old are you? That ain't none of my business. 52. Well, that black don't be cracking. And you got that hair working too. Shake it again. Some of y'all can't shake it. Don't laugh, brother. I'm just you hit that one day. Here's the deal. The amount of space change that we had, but look at the blessing. We packing it in, man. This is a great thing. We packing it in. All right, got these young fellas bringing in chairs. Come on, there you go. Were you a Buffalo Soldier free? Stop. I ain't saying that. I saw the hat say Buffalo Soldier. I'm the one. I know. I can't help it, man. One time for the soul man Billy Bland, who's in here. He still is a mentor and a friend of mine. Listen, the people in your life, you ain't got to agree with them with everything that they say. Amen. Me and Billy don't agree on everything. I still respect him. You know what he does? He respects me too. Yes, sir. Your age don't come with it. Listen, respect others. It should be given back to you. Me and Billy got a whole lot of wisdom. You think he can play the blues? I mean, he all right. Hey, Bill, line, brother, I fight you. Me too, brother. I put the Buffalo Soldier on you, probably ready to fight it. All right, so listen, we are going to keep moving with the program. Again, my name is Derek King. I'm going to be a panelist. The original plan was for me to host, and because we changed it, don't mean that I won't be hosting. So I am. And I want to bring to the stage a man who was tied to this event from its onset. Would you all please welcome up here, Mr. Gerard Blair. Come on. Hey, welcome everybody. They're going to play by my mom. Hey, y'all ever been around with bad kids that don't even be around? That's the thing they do. You did that perfect. How's everyone? Good. So, it goes without saying, we're so overjoyed about y'all being here on something that's so important as men. You know, I've been in this space for about 5 years, and I've done it in Dallas. I've done it 3 years straight with it. Those gentlemen back there, they drove in from Vegas. Well, thank them, Todd and Anthony. Yeah. As we developing the topic, we were trying to figure out what's most immediate. What can we do differently? What can we do better than just the normal status quo? And what we started to hear from the men is that, you know what, I get this training, I learn this great information, I go back home in college, feeling like, you know what, I'm ready to step into my role. They go back to the same environment, you know, and that's problems at work. You know, if they're married or in a relationship, there's a turmoil that comes with sometimes being there. Kids are still, you know, have their challenges. If you're underemployed or unemployed, that doesn't go away, right? So what we start to say is like, you know, how can we empower the community? And the challenge around it was when we get men in these intimate settings, we open up. And then, you know what I'm talking about. When we get around each other, we feel good, we share stuff, our challenges, fears, anything that we're going with amongst each other.
how would we act? Would we be willing to do that if we had our female counterparts in this session? So, there was a lot of back and forth on whether we should do that. We were just like, let's do it. And just see what we should do. Here's the thing about it. We can't do it by ourselves. We were not meant to do it by ourselves. And it's just a tragedy to go back to the same environment that helps break you. So that's what we did. We want to mobilize the community, whether it's wives, spouses, significant others, children, community leaders, whoever, come in to be a part of this and learn instantly what we're dealing with. So there's going to be a lot of transparency, right? But that takes bravery. So I'm saying that to say this: don't judge. And if you do judge from a point where, like, how can I help whatever it is that he's doing?
Right.
But here's the other thing: we're not here as being victims. We know that we can do better. So we're charging you also to grow and learn and figure out how you can empower us, how you can encourage us to do better. Because it takes two, right? And here's one thing I tell people all the time: I can do everything that I'm supposed to do, and the guarantee is nothing. So it takes the other person that I'm interacting with to do their part too. So that's the purpose of this event, is to just understand the challenges that men deal with mental health, try to do it without the negative judgment, give them more grace. We already give them grace already, we get it. But it's those times when you give us more grace than you think that we deserve, and we're starting to see that change. So I just encourage y'all again to be open-minded, men, be transparent, be mindful though, again, whatever you put out there is out there. So, but that's how we're going to grow. That's how we're going to do that. So, without further ado, my counterpart from Swansea, I'm gonna let you come up and introduce yourself, and then we'll move forward with that.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, I am Martwana Bruce. I am from Bruce family. I am here also on behalf of the visionary of this, Javon Bruce, is unable to be here. But like Javon said, the show must go on, but we still have to do a blessing to the people. Amen. Amen. I stand before you to do the introduction of our keynote speaker, Mr. Gregory McKinney. Gregory McKinney is dedicated to empowering people and helping them discover their full potential. With more than 15 years of experience as a minister and certified life coach, he has guided countless individuals, couples, and families through challenges with a focus on restoring broken connections and fostering personal growth. Gregory lives by the philosophy: if better is possible, then good is not enough. While he supports a wide range of clients, his greatest passion lies in helping men strengthen their emotional intelligence. His coaching approach combines practical strategies with faith-based principles, equipping men to navigate life's struggles with clarity, confidence, and purpose. As an author, Gregory's book, Emotional Intelligence for Men, serves a transformational guide offering both biblical insights and actionable strategies to help men overcome obstacles and embrace their God-given potential. I introduce to you Mr. Gregory.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Oh, wow, I love. You know what? That was the best introduction I think I've ever had. I need to take you around with me. That was all right. That was all right. First of all, I want to thank everyone that's in the room today. Thank you for coming out because you couldn't be anywhere else. You chose to be here with us. And for that, we are grateful. But not only that, your presence here shows that every person in this room is seeking something different. They're seeking something deeper, something more than just money, something more than just loans, something more than just a fancy house. What you're searching for is fulfillment, is peace, and more life. And hopefully today, we can extend that to you. So if I talk with you today, I want to equip you with some strategies. Hopefully you'll walk away with some things that you didn't know before you came in to help the men in your lives overcome their struggles. And if you are a man, I hope you walk away with just not a little bit more, knowing that you're prepared for whatever it is God's about to do. Now, I am a preacher, so I may have 3 closings today. I'll only keep you about 4 hours. I want to start with a story. When I was 19 years old, I was driving to school one day, and I was in a car accident. And because of the car accident, I broke my left collarbone. So I went to the ER. The doctor looked at me. So I was in a lot of pain that day. And the doctor was reaching for my collarbone that was broken. It was my left one here. And every time he would reach for it, I would grimace and pull back. He would reach forward, I'll pull back. He would reach forward, I'll pull back. I did that about 4 or 5 times before he stopped and said, Gregory, if you don't let me touch it, I won't be able to fix it.
Yeah.
So that's what we got to do today. Because men's mental health is more than just the latest fashion. The number one killer of men globally under the age of 50 is suicide. I'll say that again if you didn't hear me. The number one killer of men globally under the age of 50 is suicide, which is something that is very preventable. Spouses are left alone, children are left fatherless, communities are left without leaders. It's something that can't be fixed. All because we haven't cared enough to take time and remind them how important they are. You know, because of that car accident, I began to evaluate my life a little bit deeper. I started making better questions, and I found myself in a rut that I think a lot of men find themselves in. You're going about day to day, you're going to do your job, paying bills, take care of your family, paying your house up, but you're not able to sleep at night. You find it uneasy. You're not able to look at yourself in the mirror and respect the man that you see. Because you're not following your purpose. And there came a point in my life, which I'm sure it's a point in every man's life, where you ask yourself, am I living the life that I want, or am I surviving the life that is handed to me? I think a lot of men are in that place right now. That's why we're here today, because every man in this room and every person in this room that knows a man knows that men deserve something more than just survival. Men deserve to be able to create the life that they want. Let's talk about the challenges that men face today. If we're honest, you have to admit that life for a man is not easy. We're not allowed to be vulnerable. We're not allowed to cry. We're told not to complain. We're told not to ask for help. Carry it on our back. Push through. Suck it up. Figure it out. And if you don't, then you're a scrub. Then you're trash. Then you're no good. Then you're less than. So either you're perfect or you're pathetic. Those are the only options that men seem to have in society today. And with that comes a lot of weight. A pursuit of being perfect, which I haven't met anybody that's perfect. We fall into the stereotype that saying that I'm good means I'm good, when it doesn't. Deep down, we're struggling to survive. Here's the truth though, silence is killing us. Silence is killing us. If you know a man to be silent, then he is dying. A man that is silent is a man that is dying. And so we have to open up the opportunities and conversations for men to be able to talk and to share their struggles without judgment and without shame. Because shame is the tool of the enemy. Because the devil knows he can't stop you from succeeding, but he will try to make you stop them. Men are more likely to take their lives than women. Men are more likely to struggle with depression. The men are more likely to numb themselves with work, alcohol, distractions, instead of facing what's really going on inside. So here's a question we can ask every man that we know. How long do we keep living the lives that we don't feed us? How long do we pretend we're fine and slowly we burn out? How do we do that? We got to change our attitude about success. We got to change what is success. We got to change what is important and how is a real man defined. We're told that success is a car, a house, clothing, is the bank account. Don't get me wrong, those things are nice. We shopping, balling, like all y'all in this room are that. But my bank account should indicate my value. But unfortunately, society tells me that that's what their value is. You're judged by what you can provide, not by who you are. be judged by what is in your bank, not your gifts that you have at all. Success, real success is needed. It's peace of mind. It's rest when you put your pillow on your head at night. It's being present with your kids. It's being able to call a brother at 2 a.m. in the morning and say, I'm not okay. Can I talk to you? Being vulnerable. Knowing your life has a purpose, what really matters. So, there's 3 dimensions of true success that I want to discuss with you today. Number 1 is mental health, protecting and strengthening your mind. 2, relationships. You and your boo, how y'all doing? Have deep, authentic connections with others. Lastly, your purpose and your legacy. Living in alignment with your why. Everybody has to have a why. Because everybody in here, male or female, is born on purpose, for purpose. God doesn't waste anything, and He doesn't waste anyone's life. So if you're here right now breathing, you have a purpose. So if you want to know if you have a purpose, say prayer. I have a purpose. My challenge to you is, what does success look like for you? To all the men, what does success look like for you? Now, when they say success should be on Instagram, not on Facebook, not what your coworkers are driving, not how many members are in your church. None of that matters. What matters is, are you authentically living with the gift that God has given you? Are you providing the service? Are you doing the thing that God has put on this earth to do? So let's be practical. Practical inspiration is good. But we need some tools. That's why we wake up on Monday morning and we don't want to go to work. What do we do? You may have heard this before, and it's a true fact. You live you doubt. Most heart attacks happen at 8 o'clock on Monday morning. You want to know why? People don't want to go to work. Most heart attacks in America happen at 8 a.m. on Monday morning. Because people are sick and tired of what they're being forced to do and not doing what they're called to do. All right, so practical ways that we can help. Number 1, you got to have a mental routine. Every man needs to awake to reset his mind. That means you may need to journal, prayer, meditation, 10 minutes of silence every day. You'll be surprised at how much clutter and chaos is in your head because of what you listen to. How many of you fall asleep with the TV on? All right. If we were in a psychology class, they would tell you that's a mental dysfunction. It's okay. It's not going to lock you up. But your mind is not meant to be continuous. It needs to rest. That's right. Your mind is constantly consuming and it never slows down. So that's why mental reset is so important, because when you have quiet, you can have clarity. If you're always being consumed with noise, you're never able to focus. And so we have to be intentional. So we have to be intentional about putting our phones down, getting quiet, turning the TV off, and being in silence. The reason why some people have problems with that is because they don't want to face themselves. Because the person that is the biggest struggle to you is the person that you see in the mirror. And when you got to be real with yourself, you're going to hurt your own feelings. The practice of mental routine, I encourage everyone in here today. You can be silent or in silence for 10 minutes a day. You will then discover where your biggest pain is found, because you'll be forced to confront the things that you don't want to talk about. 10 minutes of silence every day. Number 2, the power of brotherhood. Isolation is dangerous. Lone wolves do not survive long. We need each other. Find men you can be real with. Men who won't judge you but protect you. Brothers make the journey lighter. We're not meant to be alone. The Bible tells us that iron sharpens iron. Right? Okay. So when I fall, who's there to lift me? It is our purpose. One of the purposes of life is to remain strong so that when the brother beside you falls, you're able to lift them back up. Because guess what? That brother that falls may be you. Brotherhood, a community is important because you need someone that's able to check you on your blind spots. See the things that you're doing that you consider to be normal. Look at you and find the things in your life that are destructive to you and are honest enough with you and say, hey, I think you're messing up right here. You're slipping. Brotherhood keeps us strong because we inspire each other to stay strong. Number 3, vision mapping. Write it down. The Bible says, my people perish for lack of vision. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, in 1 year? Break 50 steps, easy, quite often. Methods and steps, 30 days, 1 week, big break down into small, consistent steps. Baby steps count. Baby steps count. So, if it means setting your alarm wake up at 6 o'clock every morning, if you wake up at 6 o'clock every morning, because the person that you're making proud is yourself. And when you can count on yourself to do the thing that you say that you're going to do, that's how you build confidence. You build confidence by doing the little things. You build confidence by being accountable to yourself. You build confidence by making your bed every morning. I did that. You build confidence by going for a 10-minute walk every day. I did that. And confidence just pours over to other areas of your life. Vision matters. If you don't have a target, where do you go to grow? What are you doing with your life? I had a history teacher in college. One of the questions he asked me is, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, where do you work? What's your favorite hobby? Well, what do you do? Because you agrees with yourself, so what do you do? When you have something that you can say that you do, it keeps you less distracted on things you should not do. That's why knowing what you do is so important. The devil is here to distract you. You know what you do, you know what you should not do. Number 4, emotional discipline. Life always throws stress, disappointment, our conflicts, our way. Discipline is choosing how you respond instead of letting emotions control you. Sometimes it's simple as pausing, breathing, and responding with clarity instead of reaction. That alone can change your life. Emotional discipline means when I want a person, I know. I don't smoke, I don't shoot, I don't curse as much as I used to. That's emotional discipline. The captain of your ship should be you, not the walls, not the traffic. The Bible says this. The joy of the Lord is our strength. I'm going to say that one more time. The joy of the Lord is our strength. Okay? Now, you wake up one Monday morning and you burn your toast. You go out and get a flat tire. You're late to work. Your joy is gone, right? The devil has already stolen your strength. And when you're so weak or so mentally weak that the devil says, all I have to do is burn your toast, and now you're no good for anybody or anything. Joy of the living. That's why we have to be intentional about protecting our joy. That means emotional discipline. Focusing on the good, not the bad. Feeling, not avoiding the bad, but not letting it be the lead. It's in the car, but it's just not behind the wheel. Number 5, here are habits that can help us get through our lives, better our mental health. Number 5 is resilient habits. Your habits shape your future. Build a morning routine that sets the tone, protect your time and energy. Ask yourself daily, does this action move me closer to the life I truly want? If it's not getting you closer to your goal, then it's a waste of time. How many of you spend more than 1 hour a day watching television? God read it. Is it helping you pay your bills? Is it helping you grow closer to God? Is that helping you come closer to your children? Are you making the world a better place? It is a distraction. It is a distraction. Well, listen, preacher. I need to relax, right? I've had hard days work. A little bit of love and hip hop ain't never hurt nobody. It may not hurt, but it sure not help. And are you going to live a life that's fun, or do you want to live a life that's fruitful? Because the devil wants you to have all the fun that you want. It is a fair and fruitful amount. So we got to take charge. We have to make routines that say that I want to only do the things that are beneficial. Then you have some time for relaxation and a fun bath and a meal. But your life should be more focused on what moves you forward and what moves you into your alignment than in fun. God is more concerned about your progress than he is your happiness. If you live a life of progress, you'll find your happiness afterwards. The goal is momentum. The reality, though, unfortunately, you can have all the best habits in life in the world. You won't be able to change overnight. It takes time. Sometimes it takes you. When the life goes back out, clients who are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s are still battling trauma that happened to them when they were 5, 6 years old. Some battles you don't get over, but you learn to deal with. Some battles are always there, but you learn how to manage them. The pain may never go away, but the pain doesn't have all power. You can't erase your memory, but we can release some of the pain. How we relieve that pain? One, we gotta admit that we have pain. We're not strong. We're not impressing people by saying how much you carry. It's not a bragging right. It's not a badge of honor. True maturity is being able to lay it down and allowing someone to help. Because the truth is, you can have both God and a therapist. God is not intimidated by our common sense. God is more gifts to each and every one of us. And for some, that's the gift of therapy. So I want to encourage you on whatever struggle you may have. I want you to pray first, but then I want you to get the help that you need. Where do you start? Maybe for some that means calling a brother and saying, I need to talk. Then we hang out. I got some things on my chest. Maybe for some of you, it's putting the phone down and being fully present with your family, with your kids. Or maybe it's finally coming to therapy, writing your vision, setting your boundaries. Whatever it is, take the steps today. Because change does not come from a conference. It comes from commitment. And you have to be committed to whatever it is the change is needed in your life, or you're going to be consumed with chaos. I'm going to leave you with this. Your future's not written. You're not stuck. You're not broken. You're not too late. You're not too far gone. Your life isn't waiting on you. But it won't be given to you. You have to go build it. And the good news is you already have everything you need. Pick up the pen and write the story and create the life you want. You were created by the greatest creator. And he gave you his DNA. You were created to create. The vision that God has given you, he gave to you so you can create. So that is your new job description. When people ask you, what do you do? I create. Let them talk about you, but you create. Let them laugh, but you create. The Creator created you to be an example of what he does best, and that is create. So go out there and create the life that you want. God bless you.
The preacher. Boy, you did good. Now listen, you said some amazing things. I don't disagree with anything you said. I'm immature is what I learned. That's what I learned from listening to you. You talking about, it's immature to cuss. Sir, I cuss every chance I get. I'm so good at cussing, I can make preachers cuss. David, show them what I'm I give a preacher rep around. Show them. That's where I miss it, man. I mean, but you gave some great stuff. And this conference won't change anybody, but commitment will. So we thank you for your words today. One more time. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to shift to our panelists, getting our discussion on. All right, so we give us 5 minutes to shift the room, and we'll be right back to you. All right? I'm not going to drink over this.
We'll do one more.
You sit next to me.
We go one. Sir, man, here go 2 seats right here for me.
All right, y'all, round of applause for getting us started back again. One more time. We do have an online presence. For those of you who are watching online, if you have a question that you would like to have answered, type it in online. Listen, if y'all have a question, let's just make sure that we are raising our hand. When you got a panel discussing stuff in such a small room, everyone cannot talk at the same time. It will be overwhelming to anyone up here speaking, and everyone should have the opportunity to be able to hear what someone is saying, all right? So it can get to a point to where you have these small little discussion groups with people next to you. Don't do it. I'm just telling you, we're in a small room. It's great that we're packed in here. It's like old school church right here. We in here. It ain't that they got a box fan. I want you to know these black folks brought a box fan too. People online can't see it, man. That's a box fan. You remember your granny's house? She ain't had no ceiling fan. Wasn't no central air. Open the door. Open the door. That's what I'm telling you. All right, it's open. All right. So listen, what we're gonna do. Most of us have already been introduced. Again, my name is Derek Kenner. I'm a professional comedian, writer. Now I'm adding that to my resume. A screenplay writer. Just added that. I believe Mr. McKinney will be coming back in. I don't know if he's going to be a panelist. All right. So we've already introduced Sister Maitwana Bruce.
Right.
Would you like to introduce yourself and give a little 30? Okay. All right. So everybody that is introduced, some of these people have already been introduced. Maitwana has already done that. And so for everyone else that is on the panel, they'll stand up and give just a 30-second brief little description of themselves, all right? From North Las Vegas, because it is extremely important that you understand that man from North Las Vegas, not from the Strip, even though that's where I met him at. We were shooting dice and we took our winners to church. Just know that, Pastor, we took all our winners to church. We blessed the congregation. And the pastor was happy. I want you to know that. We then went to this quiet, what was that place you took me to? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Antinous Fuller.
He's right. I am from North Las Vegas. But my roots come from Garland, Arkansas. I'm wearing on my chest. And I'm doing me in 60 seconds. Today is my grandmother's birthday. She would be 114. So I met Gerard 4 years ago, and we met at a men's conference. And I asked him why he attended this year, and he said, we didn't get invited back basically. And I said, oh, he said, well, we're doing something. And this was in June. He said, we're doing something. I said, oh, Texas, I was like, my folks from that area. I might think about coming down. And I did a big mistake of telling my mom. And I said, Mama, I'm thinking about going to Texas, and I might. And she said, we're going. So we're here now, but I'm Anthony Spoon. I'm an educator for 28 years in elementary. I'm a mentor. It's called Gentleman by Choice and Lady by Choice. The thing is about we need to give kids a tool to have choices in life. So I'm passionate about education. I love what I do. And I love it so much, I flew from North Las Vegas to be here in Texarkana. And my family came too. This is my mother, my first cousin, my second cousin, and my fourth cousin. This is my mama's best friend. The big city of God. Yeah! I represent God in here. Yeah! We ain't gonna go down there. That's all y'all got. Y'all ain't got nothing else. I'm sorry. Our next panelist was a friend of my father while he was living, and since my father's death, he has been a friend to me both in business and in my personal life. Please welcome Bishop Johnny Brown.
Sir. I'm Bishop Johnny Brown. I'm pastor here locally at Mount Baptist Church. I'm also a serial entrepreneur where I create businesses and along with other people. And also, my wife and I have 4 nonprofits. One of the profits we're working on is for the southern part of Arkansas, Georgia, Arkansas Department of Health and Services as well as contractors with substance issues, youth mental health, and also mental health that relates to the southern and eastern part of Arkansas. We have 10 counties. I'm a partner. I work for myself. I'm not crazy. My environment made me that way. My wife has those. She does. She makes sure I said something about the books. Right? But I want to say thank you very much for being here. It's a great honor that we're able to talk about a conversation that is very, very important.
Bishop Rodney calls me once a week to make sure that I stop by the party factory to pick up his almost position. See, I told you I'm good at making preachers cuss. It's coming. I'm gonna keep working now. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Todd Hudson.
First of all, thank you for the invite. My father Hudson. I'm from west side of Las Vegas.
I ain't beefing.
My roots come from Little Rock and Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I have 7 kids, 12 grandkids. That's why it's important for you to work on my mental. I'm a professional financial worker. I do truancy with kids. I also, me and my wife are life coaches. We have a business called Just Coaching. I'm just happy to be here. Let's just get started.
I encourage everybody to be nice to him with 7 kids and being from Pine Bluff. This whole thing. Pray with it, you understand me? Next we have Miss Asia Walker.
Miss Aja Walker.
Aja Walker. Black folks in these names.
I'm used to that. I'm Aja Walker, born and raised in Austin, Texas. I've only been in this area for a couple of years, but I have been doing grief counseling, youth counseling, individual counseling, couples counseling. I do help with bridging the gap here in Arkansas and do some counseling with them as part of my community service. I also do some, and I see some faces that I recognize. I have some groups, some younger girl groups that I work with that I'm so proud of. And I am big on impacting the community and working on mental health because it starts with these babies, with this youth. And like you said, we do have older, people that are dealing with stuff when they were 4 or 5 years old. So my biggest goal is to try to help with that, to try to not fix it, but help you heal through the process. So I am so happy to be in this community. I'm so happy to be in this area, working with my people. And I'm so happy to see the men here. This is huge. And I do work with a lot of men actually individually, but group counseling is big for guys. So I'm willing to help anyway. Thank y'all for the invite.
So again, Ms. Aja Walker, usually the group counsel for men is at the barbershop. That's just usually where, and it ain't good counseling all the time. But we in there. That's what we're talking about our conversation. So listen, again, my name is Derek Keener. I didn't come to have church with y'all. I I am comedic relief. Although I'm comedic relief, man, listen, I'm also serious about my mental health and about yours as well. So, yes, I will be providing a few little giggles here and there. Don't fret, I will not make fun of anybody in here. That's not what I'm here for, all right? But we're just here to fellowship, have a good time, and love on one another. Again, would you give it up for all of the panelists that we do today? And we'll start off with our questions from my sister, my twin.
Thank you. All right, it's about to get interesting. So, as I ask these questions, to be grabs you, feel free to answer it, or I don't want to have to call on you. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start with the simple questions around what exactly is mental health. What does that look like? If you could describe it, the mental health of Black men in your life, or the Black men that you know, in one word, what would it be? One word.
I would say a mask. One word, I would say a mask. Peace.
Truth.
Does that resonate with you guys? Various answers. Thank you. How have you seen mental health needs change or become more visible in our community?
So how do we see that it's changed or became more visible in our community?
Yes, because we all know that way back we come from elders and ancestors that say, when skulls open in this house, so of course they never went to therapy. Things got swept under the rug. What does that look like today? Are we still in that space of keeping the secret, or are we at a space where we're bold enough?
I'll say one thing, and I haven't been in this community, but the particular African American community I was on, it's become more relevant in the church, and that's appreciative. I am a Christian, and I do believe that, like was said earlier, you can love God and worship God, and then also see the church. You can go hand in hand. And back then, my grandparents, it was we gonna pray about it. We gonna keep this right. This stay in the house. And it's not like that. Everybody is choosing to do things their own way, and it's coming to light where little ones are taking lives of themselves and someone else. And we gotta have this conversation. And I believe in the church that would help a lot, because they already go there as a safe place. But why not use that space to help with mental health?
And I think also, like talking about housing, my parents in the house, space in the house. However, they're individuals. We need to have a conversation, but not should because stigma. We would say somebody is crazy, and that title, if it's given to you at 16 or 15, they might speak to you, and because they have gotten a certain way, we continue to say that this person is crazy.
Right.
And we don't give a chance. The person say, well, I'm pigeonholed, and then as pastors, you have not been trained to deal with people who have mental health issues, and you say they're possessed by a demon, when there is a possibility that they are physically have. And so we want to pray it out, but there's something that is in a conversation to actually help that with the person. Are we where we need to be? No, but we're farther along than where we were when I was coming up.
Yeah. I want to add to that. You got something?
No.
I want to add to that. A lot of times people are resistant to get therapy because of the cost. And so I think one of the things that we need to seek is wise counsel, right? Because I think everybody in here knows someone that's wise. So hopefully you know somebody that's wise that you go to. You may not be able to afford a counselor, but there should be someone in your life you can go to. An elder of the church. I often said that if the church was what it should be, none of us would need therapy. I should be out of a job if the church is what it should be. I shouldn't have any clients. but I've inundated the class because we're not loving ourselves. When I say the church, I'm not saying the building. I'm talking about us. All of y'all. We are the church. And because we don't want to make time for people, then people are dying. I would rather hear about your situation than hear your human people. And so we have to open up ourselves to be available to people who have to compromise.
I want to make sure that each family is blessed. Remember that we do have an online presence that we speak loud and clear enough for those in the back of the room and online to hear. One of the changes that has come about has been the advent and the overtaking by social media. I think that has a great deal to do with these opinions that everybody has that can be shared with the click of a button. And so you then put your issues out on social media. And I'll be honest with you, you said wise counsel, it ain't on social media. But that's where the bulk of it is coming for me, from what I've seen, the change. Oh, you got so many people that think they're giving the world's greatest advice. And they are, and it's ruining us. I believe it's ruining us. Because everybody thinks they can tell you how to overcome your issue based on what they deal with. Yeah, tell them, don't hold back, speak your truth.
And we only listen to the voices that support our own dysfunction.
Don't. And I think that's an issue for us. A lot of people delete people that think differently than them. I don't. I've chosen not to. I want to know how others think. It may help me to deal with what I'm dealing with. It may be hard to hear. That's up again. I said it at the beginning that me and Billy, we don't always. You don't need to agree with everybody. And if everybody in your life is agreeing with you, you need to give them new life.
And going back to the talk, I disagree with that. We spend our money where we feel it's valuable. So until we value ourselves, we don't take care of ourselves. We will spend $1.50 on a pair of Jordans because it makes us feel good on the outside. Until we become fulfilled on the inside, we will never change. So I disagree with the money. It's not a money issue, it's a mindset.
You know, that's that. They said when we have a friend that's in the struggle, we'll say, hey, let me take you out for some coffee. Or, you know, you wanna go out and hang out a little bit. Instead of doing that, I'll do a free therapy session.
Yes.
You know, instead of saying, hey, I'll take you out to dinner, you like to eat. Hey, I know a therapist, the first session is on me, because you need to know.
By a show of hands from people in here, who all has actually gone to therapy? I mean, I've been. It literally changed my life. I did not know that I needed to cry. But listen, after that first session, every time I'd be fine the whole week. And as soon as I hit the parking lot, you can tell them what's wrong. That's when I cried. I didn't cry all week. Because I'm a man. I got to deal with it. I got to push through. I ain't got to, what I'm crying for in front of this other man, I can't. But as soon as I pulled in that parking lot, it was a great relief.
I want to go back to something Bishop Riley said about the stigma and how it follows you. And I know that we may have some people in here that are in the education field. So I want to ask you, I know if a child has behavioral problems and they notice in their file and it follows them, how do we protect those children? What would you say to parents to make sure that they doesn't follow?
Okay, I can give you a prime example. We have a student who's new to, I'm in elementary. We have a student who's new to the school. And in his file, we have it's called infinite campus. So once you get put in the system, it's infinite. So my job, I'm a behavior specialist, aka the dean of elementary. So I'm looking at the files because I get the call like this is a tough rough. So I look at the files and I'm like, okay, he's here a teacher, he's did this, he did that. But I can't judge him on it yesterday. So I have to look at it with new eyes. So I called his mama, and the first thing she said was, what has he done now? And I said, ma'am, I'm not even calling you about that. I'm calling you about because we have a football team, and I saw him out on the playground, and I think he can ball. But again, I have to massage because we have to get to the issue. For me, like I say, so you can't judge it, because if you judge me on what I did yesterday, I wouldn't be sitting in the seat today. But what we do as educators, we talk, you got such and such in your class this year. Or it's like, oh, you got such and such in your class this year. You're gonna have a good year or a bad year. One thing I hate about, and I'm gonna say, I like to think, one thing I hate about us as educators, we judge these kids, man. We don't model the expectations that we expect or we hold to ourselves. And so then we talk about these kids, that this is me off. I am a needle in a haystack, a black man in elementary. And we got people that don't look like us. And I'm not saying that everybody don't look like us can teach us. But when you don't look like us and you don't feel like us and you don't love like us, you can't create the geniuses that we have in our school. So I get frustrated when people say, you teach at that school. Absolutely, I teach at that school. Because we have some great students at the school, whether they be white, Hispanic, particularly my strong black little boy. So that's my story. That's my story. I'm speaking. We just have to love on them. We have to be present. We need more black men in there. We have to be present. And I think I've done a really great job. I know I've done a really great job of bridging the Hispanic and black community, because I have black, Hispanic little girls, Hispanic little boys that love on Mr. Boom. I got a village. Like I said, I can make a phone call right now and be proud of it. Because I say what I mean and I mean what I say. And I show up. So if I say I'm going to do it, I do it. And they respect me for that. I'm tough. I get on your head, but I'll love you at the same time. And I'm going to say this. What we do as teachers, we get up on students, but we don't know how to love them. We strip them down, but we don't really love them. Because if I get on your head, when we leave our conversation, I hug you and I say, I love you tomorrow.
That's why I say, no Clark.
Man to the core.
From North Alabama.
Tell them, Gertrude. That's my mom and me.
And I just add, on a parent side, because I am a mother of one beautiful, wonderful, intelligent daughter. She's in a senior year in college. And my thing is, I wasn't that parent that waited on phone calls to have any conversation. I showed up, they knew, oh, that's her mom. I was always there whenever I could be, even for other kids. We was on the team, when she played all the sports. I knew that this little girl over here, her mom had a time she had to work, whatever the situation was. Well, I'm cheering like that's my child. Don't be the type of parent where you only wait on that phone call. What did they do now? Because your child, it might be a call for, hey, I need some attention. Because my mama not giving this to me unless I act up. Or my daddy not coming around unless the school calls. So just to put it out there for parents, let's show up for our kids, not just when they acted up, but the good times too. Even when they're not good, when they just need somebody to come bring them lunch. Let's just show up.
Yeah, no, I wanted to do something for you. I want to show men how to do something. I don't know if we love on one another enough, or know how to love on one another enough publicly without it being deemed something sexual and or being looked at as gay. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you your flowers right now, Mr. Fulham. More black men are needed in elementary education. I think it's the biggest need in our community. I actually had it wrong. I thought it was, let me catch them when they're teenagers, so I really know it's too late. By that point, they already figured stuff out, and they hit that. That boy 14. I can't fight him. I can't tell him nothing. But listen, you see the smile on his face? I wonder if those teachers that are white see him that way, with that smile, and would go, man, I got to be able to talk to them. So I just want to love on you publicly and tell other men it's all right to love on your friends publicly and give you your flowers for being in elementary education. You're walking in your purpose, but as a black man, I just want to say thank you. For our mental health as men, as black men, to be loved on by other black men. I was loved on by a strong black man, my father. So I know how to do it. I want to help others do it.
And can I add something also? We talked about the students, we talked about the parents, but also we have to deal with the church and business people as well. And what happens in the church is that we have a pastor who's not understanding people are having no health issues. And young people are having no health issues. They don't know how to preach the message about Elijah going through a mental health crisis. Jesus himself had a mental episode in his life. So if you don't understand that from a leadership perspective, you create a problem with the congregation because now you're just basically saying what happens in this house stays in this house. You don't show them how to have that conversation. And on the business side, those of us who own businesses, we have to be able to make space for people, safe space for people, where if there's a situation that they're facing, that they can't have the conversation with the supervisor, there's not any retribution with them because they're saying, this is not a good day, and I don't need to get in the truck today because the next person who cut me off, I'm gonna run them over. I mean, we need to make sure that people have space where they can pull back in those business settings as well. We have to be willing to work with the young people. I mean, we have to be able to mentor team in all of these particular environments that they do.
When we're talking about loving on the kids, that's not mean you gotta spend a lot of money. You gotta hug them every day. Be present. Answer questions. Have conversations. It's not that hard. My kids growing up, before I would discipline them, I had to sit them down and get them to understand why they was in trouble. I asked them the question, do you know what you did wrong? Do you know what we talked about? Therefore, after their punishment, they wasn't as bad as that. And if I would just say, do what I say, do it, good. If I don't give them the explanations, that's where I start making that gap between them. But as long as you sit down, have the conversation, be present, that's loving on them. When I'm dealing with truancy, when I go and I start dealing with these kids, the first week, man, they gotta hear nothing you talking about. But as long as I keep coming, Mr. Hudson, hey, Mr. Because they see that I really care and I'm showing up. Being present.
That's the number one thing. My mom and my cousin, they make a joke about, I never miss work because I love what I do. I don't even call it work. Yeah, my career. Yeah. I took off for my birthday for the first time in 28 years. I took off 2 days. How dare I do that? I took off on a Thursday and a Friday. I come back Monday, I'm being sweaty. Hey, what happened to you? Where were you on Thursday and Friday? Why I say that is because it's important to being present. Because I can count on this person. That's right, they co-sign. I can count on this person because I can see them talk to them. It's about a mentor that they get to see a presence. It's so important to be present, consistent.
That's so good, thank you. And I think this last next we'll shift to a different subject, but I think it's important also for parents to realize you don't have to know it all. It doesn't come with a manual. And sometimes we have to be humble enough to go to a teacher and say, I need help. Go to your pastor and say, I need help. Go to somebody. Like, don't let pride stop you from causing your children to repeat generations first.
And just on that, a lot of these parents, we don't use the tools that we have. Counselors sit in those offices all day and don't even talk about this. If you ain't gonna say nothing, they ain't gonna say nothing.
I think I just mentioned it. I remember my children are adults now, but when they were in school, I had a teacher tell me, if we know that the parents don't care, we don't get paid enough to overcare and the parents don't care. But they knew when they saw my kids, I already don't talk to mom. Other kids, go out in the hallway. Just get out my class.
Again, that's another, let me share this. If you don't show up, teachers teach or interact with your kid based on how you interact with them. I've seen it all day. So just show up. If we have to do a community like, hey, on Monday you go, on Tuesday you go, on Wednesday you go. Again, if I don't say anything else, be present. Be present.
And don't be afraid to ask for help.
I got an online question. I don't know if you want to answer it now or later. But it was, how do you create a safe space to make men comfortable with sharing what they're going through?
Everybody, how do you create a safe space for men to share what they're going through?
The barbershop.
Yeah.
Barbershop. Go get some advice. But these are most men confide. I'm telling you, it's safe. Most men confide in their barber more than they do anybody else because he's consistent in their life. I will see you every week. Well, I can talk to him. Then you sit in that chair and get it off. Man, you know my wife did my wife. And it just and he'll counsel you. Barber, there should be some barbers in here. They counsel us.
In North Las Vegas, we have
In Vegas, man, in Vegas.
we have barbershop calls once a month. When they come in, do health, take blood pressure, they give you free anything that you need. But again, it's a consistent every month. It's at different barbershops around. I have my barber. I'm very faithful to my barber.
Me too.
Let me tell you how faithful I am. And Mama, I said this at his funeral. I was more faithful to my barber than I was to some of my women.
Yeah.
Let me say that for the folks in the back.
You know what?
My barber started cutting my hair when I was 17, and he stopped when he passed away at 52. No one could touch I wouldn't get it cut. If he couldn't cut me, hey, I'm gonna just have to look rough. Again, consistency. And I know what I said was gonna stay there. It wasn't what him saying, he crying over that girl. I knew what I said to my barber was gonna stay with me. Just imagine how much a barber has to take on. So who brought it to the barber? If the barbers took on all of our stuff, who brought it to
I called my father one time and asked him about to pray with me. He was like, he laughed a little. He's like, "You won't pray with me?" But I asked him, "Who prays for those that prays for others?" Somebody has been reported to listen. You talk about being faithful to your barber. I've been unfaithful to a barber. As soon as I come back, he'll look at me and go, "You let somebody in here." Hey, listen, I did. They had no other choice. But a woman, listen, you can get away with it. He's being honest. Listen, that was our space. Talk to your barber. But you got to be able to listen. My barber talks to me now. Because he know I'm consistent in his life. Every week, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm going to go see that man.
Okay, so just some clarity around that. It is, how does that in your homes, right? Not just with the barber. This is important.
But it starts in the barber so it can lead to the home. Because some people don't have that relationship. I've just been blessed that I've had good people around me. I've been blessed. I have my cousin. Every time I talk to him, I say I love you. Like that's just so he doesn't want to he loves you. Like I love you too. So the more that we see it, the more that we become it. But if we don't see it or hear it, we don't become it. Yeah. So when you got me in the barbershop, now for me the barbershop can go home and feel safe and talk to my significant other. Then the son will see it. Now I can talk to my friend. And so it becomes this vicious, powerful cycle where then it's okay. Because we have, for black folks, like if you go to the comedy show, you're gonna have to make me laugh. That's how we come. So I have to see it. Now if I see it, now it's okay.
So the practice that I use when I am coaching men is 3 C's. Confirm, connect, and then correct. So confirm, right? I'm so glad you're here. You're valuable. I'm so impressed by you taking this step. I want to confirm you, let you know that you're valuable. Then I want to connect with you. You from the North Las Vegas? I want to go there. I'm telling you all about it. I'm connected with you. We got something coming. And once I confirmed you, connected with you, now I open up the door so I can correct you. Because Maya Angelou said it best. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Right? So if you wanted to talk to your man, confirm him. And then, I forgot what I said. Connect with him, thank you, confirm, connect, and then you can correct. All right? That's what I do.
Hey, one more question.
Please say one thing. Just one
Go
thing.
ahead.
First of all, who prays for the Barkers? The mothers, the fathers. I pray for my fathers, I pray for me. So everybody should be praying for everybody. Number two, in my home, I have to communicate with my wife. Baby, if I tell you this and you use it against me, it's gonna hurt me and I can never tell you nothing again. Communication is key. If your wife doesn't know, how can you hold it against her? I have to sit my wife down and talk to my wife and explain to her, these are my boundaries. This will hurt me if I share it with you and you share it with anybody else or you use it against me.
Can you speak, and I'm coming to you, can you speak to from a woman's perspective on making sure that that man feels safe in the home? She keep calling me Asian, right? Y'all don't hear. Yes, so I am married, and I truly believe so. God did put us in this earth in a relationship setting with roles and kids, right? So I do want my husband to come home and want to be home. Like, be here with me. That's something that, as a woman, you should want your husband to want to be home with you. Your home should be clean. Your home should smell good. You should look good. You should, you. So that also feeds into that mental health side of things, because two partners usually don't come from the same background, right? So things that my husband went through, I have no idea on how to deal with some of those things because I've never seen that before. We came from two totally different backgrounds, but we work together as a team and with God as head of our household to build together, to talk a lot. I probably talk too much, but we talk a lot because you're right. I can't read his mind, he can't read mine. But I need you to know that what you did yesterday, that made me mad. So when it happens to kids, and I go out, I have every right to because of our community. But I feel like the love that you show to your partner, to your man, and the desire that you want for this man to be the head of your household and your king, as we call him, it falls on y'all ladies on how you treat us. In order for him to be good mentally, to treat you the right way.
I want to give everybody in here a simple way that I do it in my house. This is a very simple way just the way that I do it in my house. I do a mental health check in my house. It don't have to be anybody's birthday, but I've never seen people cry when birthday cake is around. Once a month, at the very least, I'll go buy a birthday cake. At the very least, go buy a birthday cake, and we all sit at the table, and we just talk. It's our own little party. I'm talking about just in my house. I can't do it. We ain't invite nobody to this party except for us. We're at the table. We're talking. The kids, the parents, we are talking. This is just something practical that you can do. Maybe you can't buy a birthday cake every month. Maybe y'all just sit down and just talk to one another. I just want to talk to you. Holding a safe space for your children. Listen, I'm coming up. Kids, you supposed to talk. You're supposed to do what I say do. Now listen, I'm not saying that my children are telling me, you're a bad person, we ain't doing all that. But I'm showing them how to talk, how to express. And I'm leaving a safe space for you to be able to express how you feel. It's safe in front of Kate, is all I'm saying. You can definitely use chicken. On the west side of Vegas, that's what we do.
Thank you, Derek, for bringing that into this space, because I think one of the things that we have lost is not eating dinner together. Right. Not bringing the phones to the table. Yeah. So we have to get back to that, so we can not only
My question was based off the answer when you were talking about a consistent barbershop, kind of like a consistent bartender. I understand having a great barber, but having a great barber who's skillful and consistently see all the time, I mean, that he's a great person in your life. Yes, because you don't know what's going on in his life, because he's constantly with you talk to him. Because it's okay to talk to people, but that doesn't mean it's that good for you. And so we have to be careful when we're talking. I guess it should have been a question, I'm sorry, my life coach. We have to also make sure we're careful who we are talking to and who we're going to for advice, because that can take you down the road and why you say stuff.
I only get one pushback on that. Everybody going through something. I wouldn't care if it was your pastor. When him and his wife be arguing on the way to church, and he still got to get up there and get a word. And I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Right.
I do agree with what you're saying. I'm definitely. What I am saying is that everybody going through something. Heck, I'm going through something right now. But so I'll tell you this. One of the ways that I keep my cup full is I pour it into others. That's how I keep my cup full. And it sounds crazy because I'm emptying myself. But when I empty myself into others, the reaction that they give fills me back up. See, the love that I receive, that's what fills me back up. Because once I've given to you, usually I'll go do something like what I used to do for my mental health. In Houston, man, I would be depressed. I was super depressed. I would buy donuts for everybody at the job. So, you know what they would do for me? Thanks, dear. Thanks a lot, man. Everybody, thanks. And it started filling me back up to what, but I had to do something for somebody. That's how I keep myself doing.
Yeah. I think that's a great point that you brought up. But it also shows us how men view trust.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So even if you're wrong,
Yes.
as a man, I can trust you to be there.
Yes.
You got my ear. Right?
Because you're listening.
Right, exactly. And so that's a huge one. I think everyone in here is that. And that's why young boys join games.
Yes.
Because I'm showing up for you, I'm present for you, right? And that shows the need for young boys and men to have somebody that say, hey, I got you. I want to listen to you. Ideally, it would be our spouses or our girlfriends or our family, but it's not always. And so we got to make sure we're showing up for our little boys and our husbands and our brothers and our sons. Because if we don't, then the drug dealer will, the gang member will, crime will, depression will, and suicide will. Right? But you're absolutely right in your point. But it shows that men value consistency too. Can I count on you to be there in a point in time?
How do you help women to do that stuff? Like, I know men, coming from men, how do you help women to do that? Like, to be able to talk to women and to listen and not let it be their way, how they want it, but how it gives man a voice. And that he matters, at least that matters.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
You know, the first tool I use to tell women is count to 5 before you respond. So he'll say what he's saying, his frustration, and in your mind, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. A lot of people, number 1, calm down. And then number 2, he feels he's heard out all the way. And so that's the first thing I would say. And then secondly, reinforce positive behavior. Because men repeat what they're rewarded for. So when you say about the trash, help with the children. Thank you, baby. Give them a little sugar on the tea. You know, reward good behavior. We are trainable.
Look
Okay, first I want to make a statement then. Okay, our greatest resource is our children. Okay, now we are at war with social media and peer pressure. How do we compete with those two giants in captivating our children's mentality?
The competing starts, you gotta get them earlier than the social media. We put the phones and the tablets in our kids' hands. We give them that stuff. Start setting times when they can be on it and times they can't be on it. Come to the table. Have the family settings, like he's saying. I mean, social media ain't gonna stop them. But the parent gotta start. All right, now.
No, it's not doing that. Can I offer something not necessarily where you were at? I kind of want to go back to having others listen to you. Women, one of the things that I get a lot of phone calls from family members that want to share what's going on friends do. What I'll do is I always listen. A lot of times when somebody comes to you with an issue, I'm saying male to female, husband or wife, they come to you with an issue, they're not looking for you to solve it. That is not always what they want from you. Sometimes they need a listening ear. And you are the person that they want to listen to them. And a lot of times they can't come to you because it's about you. and about you. But listen, it's not always, listen, at your job, whenever they're giving you an evaluation about your performance, you don't get to go, well, no. You have to listen and take the evaluation. And if you want the job, you do better. This is the same way I treat my relationships. If I want that job,
I spoke about children. Here's a theory that has worked in many households is you have a vote, but you have a voice, but you always have a vote, right? And so something I talk to my children and I keep telling people to do is that there are certain things in our home where you do get a vote. You have a vote on what goes in the grocery cart. You have a vote on what restaurant we go to. You have a vote on what movie we go see. But you have a vote a voice on that, but you don't have a vote on certain things. And as a parent, I get to decide what you have a vote on. But I would always hear your voice. But for some things, you don't have a vote on. So when that is established, they know that their voice is respected. So when you have to make a judgment call, and when you have to make a decision, and you have to make a rule, they respect that. Because they know they were respected first. You always have a voice, but you don't always get a vote.
I encourage young people in here, please talk to us. We don't know what's on y'all mind. This is not just for the adults. We want to hear from y'all too. Give us something so we can understand where y'all at.
and when they ask a question, parents don't look at them. No, they ready to say something. You look.
We listen and
We don't judge.
The lady in the corner there was saying how, after the barber has been done with everybody else's problem, he's praying for him. I was a hairdresser for 30 years. And, I had a salon that we were like family. The people there, we were like family. I had rooms, I had them all in frame. So everybody knew Jesus was first with me. He was first with me. And so when you dump your problems with me, we begin to pray for each other. And then when I have a problem, I said, y'all, I got some things going on. I need prayer. We get around and pray for each other. That's how I had it. Because we help one another. And I listen so much. That's how we do it.
Piggybacking off of her, first, God first, absolutely first. We need the communication of family and support, but whether it's our spouses, the barbershop, or whatever. What I took from the question online about making men feel safe, to me it goes back to what Derek said. We need more men saying it's okay to go talk to this therapist. Everybody's not equipped when it comes to their mental health or whatever that person is carrying. So we need more men telling these things it's okay. You don't have to be embarrassed. And to make sure you have a good one, because every mental health person is not on point.
I totally agree. The number one issue that most men face is loneliness. And so I live in a room like this. I bet you at least half of the men here feel lonely. And so it's very important that men feel heard and understood, because we cry when we're alone, and we cry in private, and when people learn how to be able to, when I say cry, express your pain, show your pain. And so because men don't feel heard and understood, we're slowly dying. In 1988, the U.S. Department of Justice, I believe, had considered it to be an endangered species, right? Because there are, not that we aren't being born, but there's more of us dying than being born. So black men are slowly becoming extinct, not because of violence, which is the second biggest killer, but because of suicide. So men have been considered to be endangered species, so we're not heard or understood. And so we need that other men that you're saying, I appreciate that, and to say it's okay to be wrong. I got you, man. I tried to, I heard you. So thank you, sir.
Well, and like you said earlier, Greg,
For real.
earlier, I was like, oh, I'm talking about a brotherhood is needed, right? Like, I do understand that you do feel comfortable in your barbershop, but sometimes things that are said need to be further talked about. And that once a week type communication, and then have to try to build that back up for the following week in front of all these people that you may know or you may not know. It is important that you have that stability of that community, that brotherhood. And I feel like if you got the barbershop going on, why you can't start something at your house? Or we go out to eat every Thursday night. You know, we meet at walk-ons and we sit, because that's how it starts. So just that one little simple idea, hey, what you doing this Saturday? And then you just keep it going from there. And you'll be surprised, it started with four, your cousin, your brother, and you'll be surprised on how big it'll explode into a whole connection of men that needed exactly what you needed.
What do they do in social gathering? Because I belong to book clubs. And we're in that book right now, left by a male. Come on. Get together and read books like that. You can't help but to grow.
Hey, but Twan, oh, go ahead. I got something.
I don't think the question he asked from online was ever meant to answer completely about how do you create a safe space for men in the home.
Especially at home.
Especially at home, right? Men will talk when they don't feel like they're being judged harshly, when you're trying to fix them when you want to talk. If a man opens up to be vulnerable to you, stop judging him and listen. Right. If you can listen without trying to correct him or trying to judge him, that man can talk to you all the more. I don't want to talk to you if all you're going to do is critique and pick apart when I say I didn't say it right. So a lot of times a man won't say anything because we can't say it the way we want us to say it. Right. A man doesn't talk like a woman. Sure. No amen, man. A man doesn't talk like and most of the time, a lot of women want us to talk like they would. Yes. Sometimes it's not like that for us. I was married for 16 years of my life. I was able to say something to everything, but she listened without judging on what I had to say, without trying to fix me. Sometimes I need to sound you. I don't need to speak. Right. Right.
You hear me? In elementary, 85% of our teachers are female. I say that again. 85. So if you have a boy in the classroom, what are teachers telling them? Be quiet. Sit down and what? Be quiet. Now when I go home, and I'm in a single home with my mother, what did she say to him? Be quiet. So tell me, when am I supposed to talk? If you keep telling me in the classroom that I spend 6 to 8 hours, and I go home and you tell me to be quiet, when am I supposed to talk? Now I get in a relationship as an adult. Now you want the lifestyle. You can't turn it like when do I talk? We did something in Vegas called the men's room. And it's going back to restorative justice. Restorative justice is when people have conflict, sit them down and restore. So they have what they call a talking piece. So a talking piece is if you have the talking piece No one else gets to speak. Everyone gets to listen. And I did this, well, I did it just 3 days ago. But again, as grown men, we grew up to 120 men. I never seen so many grown men talk. I mean, we had lawyers, senators. Again, but think about that. When do we really sit down and really, as you said, when do we really get hurt? Because I grew up in a household where if you pause, the conversation would go wrong. My mama, for example, I was like, Mom, you know what? And I took a breath, it was over. Because it keeps coming back. I mean, it wasn't anything bad, but that's just, you had to learn, you had to hold your breath in. It belonged before. But again, really, as men, when are we really hurt? I mean, you may be listening, but when do you really, again, it's about being present. So when I'm talking to the students, I put my phone away, and I mean, I'm here and I'm listening. So this is what I hear you saying. This is what I hear you saying. Yes, Miss Point. And so they're with the answer. I got to. But again, my point is, when do we get hurt? And so it has to go back to female supplements as well. Help us understand how we should speak and then model that expectation. Because again, I am a needle in a haystack. I make up, as a black male in elementary, I make up 0.001%. Exactly. 0.0. And I can't save everybody. And like you say, my cousin feels is when the kids hug me. They said you get 8 hugs a day. That's the safe space. I get probably 250 hugs. I mean, I do. I started as a teacher. I was making $29,999. Decimal 00. You said again, I was making $29,999, and I'm the richest man on the planet. Because the people I'm reporting to, I text 12 students right now, every single morning, because they expect it. I started something, and I finished it. And again, it's about, again, being a model. My mama and my daddy raised me. And because of who I am, her son is the principal. Now he said him. They call me him. He says, if you would have been a knucklehead, guess what? I'd have been a knucklehead. But because of the path I went, my younger cousins followed in the path of being something. You know, and what is success? How do you define success? What makes me happy that I get up? I get to get up every single morning and go to this educational space where I feel safe. So when I feel safe, the atmosphere where the kids feel safe. The kid texted me yesterday. I'm here in Texarkana. One of my 5th grade students texted me, Mr. Pullman, I'm having a bad morning. Can I come in and sit? He texted me. A 5th grader has my phone. Now, Mr. Pullman, that's the relationship. The real relationship. I don't do it because I want something back. Most of us do stuff because we want something back. I don't do it. I just do it because it's the right thing to do. And my mama say, son, if you give people money and they don't give it back to you, you can't get mad. That's what she said. But again, when I give something, money, especially my time, I'm doing it because I choose to do it, not because I have to.
Let me add something too. This safe space, sisters who are in the room. You need to create a safe space for your man. Somebody else. The reason I'm saying that is that we're going to have a real conversation, right? Okay, we want to deal with the mental health of brothers. We're talking about what brothers won't open up because we've been told so many times, hey, keep your mouth closed, you're acting up in class. But when we get in a situation, we need to talk to somebody. If you won't listen, sister, there's another sister who will. And it could be a co-worker, it could be the lady at 7-Eleven, it could be the lady who's doing the garbage truck. Somebody gonna listen to him. And when they listen to him, then the next thing you know, they're gonna replace you because guess what? The brother wants somebody to listen to them. And so, sisters, I just encourage you, figure out how to do it because we are gonna talk to somebody.
That's where that work wife, husband.
That's it.
One way my wife got me to open up When I walk into a room, she will put her phone down and look me directly in the face. If I don't have nothing to say, she'll make sure I'm okay, and she'll go back to doing what she does. When I open my mouth, I have her full attention. That was one way where, oh, okay, she listened.
Hey, I just want to add real quick. One thing I know, we almost missed like the opportunity to address like it is real. So thank you for bringing it up, Pastor. But if we want to be real about it, I addressed this in the beginning. We need to build the creative safe space, right? And the main safe space actually were with people in closest proximity. You want to be my spouse, and should, right? And so my point is, I'm wondering like what made us seemingly dance around the obvious, or we just unaware that we missed it, right? Something that is so important for me, and I talk to a lot of men. You know, the session I had in Vegas, that was one of the ran over husbands was talking about the relationship and the challenges that we had in our relationship. So my point is, be self-aware, be bold, but understand each other that, you know what, that we're not talking about perfection. Let me feel like I need to say, we're not asking spouses to be perfect, you know, but effort goes a long way. And, you know, when you know, the emotional charge, conversations when they're going on, the hardest thing to do sometimes is be quiet. But it is so necessary and it preserves. You know that old saying is, once you, the ugly word of state leaves your mouth, you apologize for this happening. It's not there. We're talking about it, open it up to you again. I ain't saying it won't happen, but good luck. And to Pastor's point, he's not saying it's okay to have a side. No. But you know, that's the same concept. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. We gotta understand, women, you are the most influential people in our lives. Hands down. Of course, God, but my point is, women affect our relationship with the Lord. I just want to be honest, right? They're right there with us. So my point is, understand, if this man open up to you, listen, if he's not open up to you, we're going to talk about earlier, where are we? And I just want to say it again, it seems like we're about to miss one, because I don't know if it's a lack of awareness or some people are dancing around with the obvious. The Bible says it is better to live in the corner of the roof. Sometimes we're doing what we can train. It seems like I got to discipline him before he understands it. I got to discipline him. Oh, I've heard this. How many of y'all heard this? Don't worry about when I'm fussing. You need to worry about when I stop fussing. So those are my only choices. I got to either listen to you fuss, or I got to worry about you being silent. So my point is to say this. I'm glad you brought that up because it's what's losing closest proximity to it. And this is not a bad women thing, but I'm saying learn to grow yourself so that he can be better. And it starts being able to share what you're feeling on the inside and not worry about being judged, but being torn down or we're less than, because I promise you, everybody outside that house, it looks better than what you got in that house. Because guess what? He ain't in that house. He ain't got to go home with him, right? So guess what? He gonna listen for 10 minutes. 15 minutes, but that's it. So just want to add that, and again, just hope that we don't miss that moment and understand the attitude. The barrier don't start up this particular situation. We need y'all to listen to it. And not necessarily solve everything. We'll get that figured out. But we need you here.
And can I say to us women, nobody outside of your household should know what's going on between you and your husband. I don't care if it's your mama, your sister. No, I'm saying, yes, I'm saying to where you done told them something, and so when they see your husband, they leave them under the outside eye. But you still going home with them, laying in bed with them, what you talking about? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I also want to, Aja, what she said was, I thought I answered the question of wasn't I was hoping to have answered it. How do you create a safe space at home? When I said that we sit at the table, I thought it was actually, so now let me double down on what I mean by that. A few months back, my woman noticed I ain't went and bought no cake. She went and got it. She modeled what I did and said, let me create that safe space. The name of this event is Create the Life I Want. Right. See, I'm the creator in my home, and everybody act like me. What I'm saying is, as a man, you're going to follow my lead. I'm following his lead. I created the space by saying, this is what we will do. When she noticed that I quit doing it, she, go get the cake. And she went and got it. And we sat down as a family. And that was a moment where I just sat there and cried. I had nothing to say at that moment, but I felt safe because I created that space. So then she saw, man, he's not moving the way that he normally. I need to go do it. You don't take anything to anybody else in the house to pick. If I see she ain't wash dishes, do I just wait and be like, you gonna let them pile up like that? I wash them because it needs to be done. When I worked at the school, I didn't wait on the janitor to pick up trash if it was in my way. I picked it up. I threw it away. You don't have to wait on others to do it. Listen, if you know it needs to be done, do it. But I created that space in my home. That way others in the home model that. And the kids are like, we ain't had no kids like they see what it's doing for them. So when that question was asked, I was hoping that I answered it by telling you what I did so that maybe you create whatever it is that you do.
The only reason I said it wasn't a full answer because the question in particular was how the women create that space. So I was just explaining to the women not creating it. Now you just said something about picking up trash, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever walk up to the janitor when you picked up the trash and say, I picked up the trash?
Absolutely not.
So a woman can't do that to a man either.
Absolutely not. I did not.
If it's something she picks up that she's dropped behind, not physical trash, emotional garbage. If she has to clean that up, she should never throw it in space to fight later on and hit below the belt and say, remember the time you cried at the table when you didn't get that cake? Because then you're trying to be my mother. You're trying to be something that I didn't need you to be.
Yeah, you need to come see me for couples counseling.
Shameless plug.
Good word.
Okay, we're gonna segue into the last section of this panel. We'll come back to question and answer, okay? We're gonna shift into grief and how grief should be handled because grief is different for everybody. And I think it's most important to know that you don't have to be dead to grieve. Like, you grieve from a divorce. You grieve from a breakup. You grieve from losing a job. You grieve. And so we're going to talk about what grief looks like and how this panel can help, give tools and resources on that. And so what are some of the types of grief we don't often talk about?
One of the groups that we don't talk about in our community is that when we have to move our mother-in-law or we have to move our parents into the home with us. If you're supporting the loan, I'm talking about people above, you're responsible to manage them. If you take them to the nursing home, or you bring them to your home, especially if there's a spouse situation where they have a good relationship. So you have to make a decision on what you do. So there's this guilt that you're going to deal with, which is trauma, because I can't take care of my mama, my daddy, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, some other there's some trauma stuff that's in the So that's some grief that we have.
I'm going to say that because they make me think about, so many people throw in where your spouse will come from your parents. Speak on it. How do you find that balance in line between that?
It's God first, and then your family comes after that. And if you're married, you have to take care of your spouse, and then your other relatives come around.
But what happens in society is that there's guilt that's placed on you because mama said, I fed you, I raised you, and now you don't care about me, and you dealing with. And so what we end up doing is we put our child in a situation where they have to make a decision. And so here in the Western society, we don't understand that family to take care of family exists past. We're gonna move over across town. You have 6 extra bedrooms at your house instead of moving grandma up in there and hiring one of the young people to take care of grandma. You don't understand that. What we've done is we moved to this other group of folks who place people in nursing homes. In our culture, that's not what we typically do, which moves us to, and we'll hopefully get to this thing called intergenerational trauma. And we don't know why we do what we do, but we do something that ends up injuring us, and we don't know why we do what we do. And so that trauma about in-laws, mother moving in with us, that's something that we do not talk about at all.
The other ones are, I do a lot of grief counseling. So secondary counseling of grief is where financial grief, okay, like loss of finances in the home. So your husband might have lost his job. He's trying. He's doing what he needs to do, or he might need just a little time out. He needs to just get over it. Do whatever he needs to do, and you, as a woman, have to step in, or whatever this big change was that was in your home, not necessarily a death, but that can cause grief to the home because it's an added stress that wasn't expected. Also, anticipatory grief, where you might be taking care of an ailing person that you know eventually is coming. I'm gonna have to deal with this, but you are grieving while that person is still here because you know you're taking care of this person and they getting ready to go soon. So that is huge. Community grief is also what all this stuff going on in Texarkana right now with these shootings and stuff in schools and this killings out here on the court. All this stuff. Community grief. You feel a certain way. I don't want to open my Instagram and I see somebody laid out in the street. That's heartbreaking. It is, and it's a grief for the community too. There's all different types of grief. All different types. And as a man that has to deal with a lot of stuff already on top of you, grief is something that you guys don't show very well. You don't really publicly cry. You don't privately cry either. And you'll sometimes go into something that you might not need to be going into to try to get that grief out. Drinking, smoking, whatever, overeating. Anything that's unhealthy to your body or to your home. And that's something that you need to be mindful of. Am I grieving? What's going on? And communicate it to somebody so that it can physically be outward and make that person be able to do it.
One unique grief that I'm running into in my age group is the moving away from children. And how fathers grieve their daughters growing up and moving away because the daughter's love for a father is unique in that it's because it's done sexually. He gets to show up just being fully accepted for who he is. And it's not really supporting space. And so when a daughter moves away, it's a broken heart for a man. And so that's another unique grief that a lot of them face when it comes to their kids growing up.
I tell you, a grief that I'm dealing with right now is the loss of friends and family, and they're still alive. When I've had to move on from you, and I don't want to.
The sacrifice of growth is lost.
So we had an online question, and anybody can answer. What are some of the signs besides silence that man is grieving? The men on the panel, what are some of the signs? I can see you're silent, but that doesn't mean you're grieving. What are the other signs?
And so he doesn't have his hobbies as much anymore. He's not excited about football or sports, or whatever his thing may be. He's lost passion for it. And there's a different himself again. And so he's not fading as much. He doesn't, the cologne, he gets the haircuts, and all those things. And then also a lack of ambition. He has no desire to be further in life than he already gets. And so those are also not.
And then maybe double down on drinking, double down on drugs.
But it's so hard because we didn't walk around the center. So of course it's like, oh yeah, you gotta talk to that. To me, that's wrong.
It can also be as simple as like, when I'm going through something, my wife will ask me a question, babe, what's going to eat tonight? Well, babe, what's going to be good? We turkey burger. Another day, she come back to whatever. Anything. I'm just not there. I'm not present right there. I'm grieving right now. She won't understand it because I'm not saying it, but that is a sign. And I'm one way one day and I'm something totally different the next time you ask.
Right. That's why it's important for us to know our partner's baseline. You know, what is your normal vibration? And when you dip below that, that's when we have a conversation. You know, why don't you want to go out and friends that can connect with me and joke with me? If you understand where your person's normal baseline is, you can be more aware of what it is.
And you gotta be wise with that because men don't like to be questioned when we're in the office.
Is it because you necessarily don't have an answer?
I don't have an answer. I don't feel you can answer it for me. I'm frustrated. It's all in me. And I don't want to question. I don't want to answer. Let me work myself through it and I'll talk to you later.
Well, that's a misnomer. There is no answer. It's an experience. So it's just a journey that we take, and eventually we get to a place of acceptance. It's not, hey, just do these 3 steps and you're get over it. It's let me walk with you through this. Let me hold your hand and we'll walk. And I'll walk with you for as long as it takes. 2 months, 2 years. I'm just going to walk with you. There's no answer to the journey.
But it sounds like God is also saying, let the man take him be the one to say, okay, I'm ready to walk.
Yeah. Sometimes I let go talk to Barbara instead of my wife. People question sometimes she thinks.
That's a great point. And that men do want help, but oftentimes it's not from the wife.
Why is that?
Because you don't want to be looked at as less than in front of you. You don't want to be looked at as weak in front of you. You don't want to be looked at as soft in front of you. So let me go to Todd and have him talk to him, and I can save face in front of you. So it's not that men don't want help, ladies. Sometimes they just don't want it for you. And it's not an insult to you. It's us protecting our own ego. So allow us that space to do that as well.
I hope you don't mind if you stay right there. Listen, I can look at the men out there and see them going, yeah, just stay, if you don't mind, just stay right there for a moment because they're trying to be heard. And I want you to listen. A lot of times you're not listening. They want to be heard. I'm looking at the men's faces. And I'm looking at them like they look in their eyes like, yeah, say it. They can't say it to you because of what you about to say. What you gonna say? Nah, I don't. You don't listen. A lot of my part of my grief is, man, if I come home and I just go get the man, I just want to be alone. That don't mean I want you to come in there. What's wrong with you? I don't need you to do that. I also don't need you to just be out of my space. Sometimes I might need you just come in there and just lay next to me. You ain't got to say nothing. Just be right there. Just be right there. And then every once in a while, reach over and just touch my leg. I'm just telling you. Just reach over there. If it's cold, you understand. Why? But this is some real stuff. I'm telling you, just listen. If you see that I'm just standoffish, just stand by me.
And he said something I'm gonna respond on. Ladies that you don't listen. Some of you, I guess people all women, but some of us don't know how to listen without trying to prepare their response.
Ooh.
You gotta just really listen. Don't worry about what you're going to say next. Just listen and let them fully talk. Get it all the way out. Because you know once we start, when it's our turn, we're ready. But you have to fully just take it in and listen to what you got to say without preparing your speech when it's your turn. Because you can't fully listen. You already in your thoughts.
And she said that, you know, counseling, what they teach you is that you hear the person, you're listening to the person, and you just basically say back to them, what did you say? Am I really understanding you right? And you slow the conversation down. Because sometimes we want to get the conversation over with so we can move on to whatever we want to do. But as sisters, if you want to be there, say it to you. And I'm being very serious because I do marriage counseling. I've heard all the stories, and I've been in with guys. They say, she don't listen to me. I say, so what does the other woman do? You nasty. Oh, you messy! But I like it. If we're going to deal with the issue, we're talking about men's mental health. Sisters, I'm talking to you. We need for you to listen to us. And sometimes you just say, I hear you. Could you explain that more? I don't understand that. And you want to listen to understand, not to solve the problem. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to slow it down. You want to listen, and you're not going to solve the problem, because we as men are problem solvers. But what we want you to do is, we want to make sure we talked about this safe space, that I can be real with my woman. And if it's about her mama, her sister, her brother, her daddy, her uncle, her niece, her nephew, that it won't get back to them.
Come on.
What I'm saying to you is that we need to know that, can I trust you with the information that's deep down in my heart? If I can trust you with that conversation, I'll tell you everything.
Can I do an exercise? Can we do an exercise with just the ladies? I just want to find out if we can do an exercise with the ladies. Ladies, are you all willing to do an exercise with me? Yes. Yes, I am. Ladies, if you don't mind, would you please repeat after me, baby?
Baby.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
The one from every woman. I said, baby.
Baby.
I apologize.
I apologize.
I hear you.
I hear you.
I did not mean to make you feel that way.
I did not mean to make you feel that way.
That's enough. Hey, listen, sometimes that's just enough. Sometimes, and listen, I'm not going to readdress it. I'm not going to try to figure it out later on. That's just enough. Do you know how you just really made him feel like he can talk to you? Like, just that simple. Just that. And don't say nothing else. Walk away. Because it's hard for a lot of y'all just shut up. Listen, at that moment, when you say that, hey, are you hungry? Listen, change the subject immediately. Are you hungry? He don't, yeah, a little bit. Don't fix it, just whatever, make it come in a package, because he ain't gonna trust with you. Leave the drink top on there, just he can open on his own. What I'm saying is, move right on immediately. Don't stay there, get out of there. Well, man, we feel like we're not being heard. Yeah. And again, I heard you. Here's the thing. And I know you are. And that is a real thing. And at some point, I'm sure my 20, and so I just wanted to bring it back to the man's mental health. We could be here all day speaking about everyone. And I'm not saying that you're wrong for how you have been. What I'm trying to do is show you how to be better. That is my only point. And a lot of times, listen, I get it wrong. I don't get it right. I'm sitting up here on the panel knowing that I'm gonna get it wrong again. But I'm gonna try to be better than what I was. I try to be better than my best self. I don't look at nobody else's relationship on social media and go, hey, we ain't where they at. No, we are where we need to be in my house. I ain't got nothing to do with where y'all live.
So we're gonna put a pause right here. We'll come back and do questions and answers, and we'll come back and get intergenerational.
Wait, what are we doing?
Oh, great.
No.
I'm sorry, this might be so I was gonna say, push through, then the dancers are gonna come after we dress and stuff. So
Okay. So we'll start with you know intergenerational trauma, and then we'll open it up for questions and answers.
Okay. So let's talk about this issue of intergenerational trauma. There is trauma that has been transferred on to you because of what your mother, your father experienced, your grandfather, your grandmother experienced, and also this dreadful topic of slavery. So there's something that has been passed down to you as it relates to that. Yes.
I apologize. Listen, guys, make sure that we are not going to those initial conversations so that the person who is speaking can be heard. I apologize.
Yeah. And so this intergenerational trauma is, and when I wrote the book about I'm not crazy, my environment made me this way, it's because of our environment. And intergenerational trauma is specifically in areas where there's high crime, there's high all kinds of the exes that society say are really, really bad. It creates some pressure for us. We're already under pressure because we're African American. We're pressure because we're male. We're pressure because we're this age group. We're pressure because we have this degree or no degree. We got all this pressure on us, along with this intergenerational trauma. And if we don't deal with the intergenerational trauma, we continue to see these cycles of violence that happens in our community. The reason that we have so much violence in our community is because of slavery and because of how the United States was built. It was built on violence. Killing, robbing, gun smoke. I didn't talk about gun smoke. All right, so gun smoke is the rifleman. You were going to see some shooting, some killing, and so you watch that, and that passes down to your children and your grandchildren. We wonder why we have so much violence in our community. We don't deal with the root of the problem. There's trauma that needs to be dealt with. There's a reckoning that needs to happen when it comes to this trauma. We don't deal with the root. We can deal all these band-aids we want to, all the pills you want to, whatever they got out there. It's not going to help until we deal with the soul. You got to get down to the soul. So I mentioned generational curses. All that's passed down. You trying to figure out why you can't keep a man and why you can't keep a woman? Because everybody in your family get divorced. You trying to figure out why you're an alcoholic? Because you look back 6 generations. Your great-great-great-grandfather was running moonshine. And you're trying to figure out why you can't beat this demon. It's because it's inside of your DNA. And you got to be able to deal with the root of the problem. But if you don't know what the problem is, you're going to keep putting band-aids on it. And you're never going to be healed. You've got to deal with the intergenerational trauma.
I totally agree with you. That is both spiritually true and biologically true. So there was a study done on the ancestors of Holocaust survivors. They were able to identify scientifically that there is such a thing as a trauma gene that is passed down from one generation to another. And so it stands to reason that if a Holocaust survivor ancestors have a trauma gene, what would the ancestors of slaves have? But also have a trauma. So what that means is that you are eventually going to face it. There's no running from it. We all have trauma running through our veins. The good news is that we can overcome it with better cycles and better patterns and better habits. That we don't have to be stuck that way. And so some people look at it as though that this is just a type of excuse for bad behavior, but it's a biological thing that has been proven that generational curses, generational patterns, and astrology is passed down. So it is the mission of every generation to slay that demon so that our children don't have to. Because if we don't kill the demons, our children don't have to fight it.
That's right.
And our children are suffering only because we're too lazy, we're too scared, and we don't have the courage enough to say, it ends with me.
Come on, amen.
And so therefore our children are now in poverty, our children are getting divorced, our children are getting killed, our children are getting in prison, all because we decided we're not going to fight that battle. And so if that doesn't get you motivated, then it's no for us at all.
So we're gonna go into questions and answers. We don't have the time to do a lot of them. But what I do want to say is everyone on this panel has resources, so you can come up to them after this is over. We also have people in the crowd who I know is tired. She sells children's books. If you have a business, after this is over, just come up to the front. You never know what people need because they don't know you have it. So I know it's questions, but just raise your hand and we'll go for it.
I want to piggyback on what Derek said about bridging that gap between marriage, family, friends, all that stuff. And yeah, how do you do that? How do you manage that? You know, saying, and how do you let
Let's see.
It's easier said than done, but it's easier said than done. It's gonna be a backlash.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. After you do that, and that person leaves, where you get respect. I think that's a good one. I mean,
I'm going through it right now.
I'm curious.
I'm going through it right now. Me and my brother sat down and talked about this. I talked to my interior about it. I'm going through it right now. It is grief is a journey. So there is just no one way to deal with it, right? What I've decided to do is the thing that matters to me the most is what's in my house. That's the first thing I do handle. Everything else outside of it, I deal with it as it comes. And so if you don't live with me, man, I ain't got to see you every day. I ain't got to talk to you every day. And so what I've done is I've learned how to respectfully keep my distance. And they may be grieving me just as much as I'm grieving them. So then I allow them their grief process too. Because if they still alive, it's a two-way street. They're grieving and so am I. Maybe one day we'll cross paths and maybe we'll talk about it and maybe we can then walk together. But until then, man, I go to my woman, talk to her about it. You know what I know we said men are trained between the two. It's a little hard. Stick with me now. They can be trained, but man, listen here, you got to be a master magician. You got to learn this here, but what mine has done is she's learned that when I come and I tell her something, she does not offer a solution unless I ask her. A lot of times I'll say, what did you do? And that opens up a door for her to be able to say, well, baby, this is how I feel. A lot of times she'll say, hey, I'm just here for you. Sometimes that's how you can be with somebody. They ain't got them. They grieve too late, but you at least know you. So the grief process for me is a journey in losing a loved one that is still alive. It's just a journey. It's just a journey. There's just no one way to deal with it. For me, you just have to. And I don't look for the conversation either to help, like that conversation between me and them so we can sever ties. I don't look for that conversation because I probably won't get it. Nor will I be validated in how I feel about the reason that we severed anyway. So because I'm not gonna get that validation, man, I just have to accept it in my own heart that this is what it is. As tough as it may be, I have to learn to accept it. And that's just how I deal with it. Somebody else may, but that's just how I deal with it.
You know, cutting family to resolve, it is a challenge, but, and let me give you the background. I was raised by a single father. So the emotional component that comes from having a mother in the house, I sometimes don't have it. So cutting people off, I can do it like really, really quick. And the reason I say this is by saying you cut people off, I need to make sure you understand where I'm coming from because I don't have some of the motherly type of things, folks. I'll say, hey, like my dad, he would cut people off, and so I learned from him, cut them off. And when I mean cut them off, I mean like literally block their number, don't call me, cut them off. And what I'm saying to you is that that's why we have to know who we are. And I know the intergenerational trauma that my family has experienced. So I can deal with them demons when they come up. Oh, I see that demon coming. If we don't know us, if you don't know you, man, and once you get to know you, let me tell you, bro, you can do some amazing things. And you'll understand what the demons are, and then you have that gift of when you cut somebody off, when they let them back in, how to have a conversation with them, or connectivity with them. Because just like cutting people off, I do cut family members off and they focus on the household. However, you know, I can extend an olive branch based on the situation, circumstance that's going on.
You know, there's this philosopher, theologian named Tupac. And he said, just because I don't want you at my table doesn't mean I don't want you to eat. Right? So people can remain in your heart, but not in your life. Right? And you need to share that, hey brother, I still love you, no, but I gotta go handle this over here. You can touch when you can. I may be pulling back a little bit. No love lost. But I gotta go handle this over here, right? So it may be a season, but it's still love. I wish you the best.
That's what I was gonna say too. I don't cut people off, but you will have limited access to them. So I gotta keep moving, I gotta keep providing for my family. If you're not with that, hey, I'll see you next week or so. But I don't never just cut people off.
And I think it's important to also debunk the concept of just because they're your mother and your father, you know they're toxic. It's not okay to say, but that's your mama, but that's your daddy. It does not matter. You're disrupting your peace. I'm not saying be disrespectful, but you do have to put distance in between those.
Good you say that because my family tried to look for my wife. And my wife don't know how he is. If he didn't answer the phone, he ain't gonna pick up the phone because I give it to him. Hey, stick on your business.
And we have to support our partners in that. So you can't call if he's not answering. You can't call him to get to him, and you can't call him to get to me. If we've already had that conversation, there is what's going on between me and my mama. In order to keep respecting her, I can't talk to her right now. If she ring your phone, you ought to know. Don't even answer. Don't even get involved because we done already had that conversation.
Thank you. We talk about several things, the intergenerational trauma. There's a book by Mark Mogul entitled "It Did Not Start With Me: How Inherited Family Trauma Shapes Us and How to Break Away from It." Right? I think a part of that grief is realizing we like to call other people toxic, but you might want to agree with the fact that you're not always the victim. Sometimes you're the villain. We love to make other people feel like we are always the victim. When a lot of times that toxic behavior is in your bloodline, you actually are grieving what you've become that you don't like about your own family. So when we talk about cutting people off, we burn bridges and say, "Oh, well, I just ain't gonna deal with you anymore." Okay, live that life if you want to. But at some point you have to open up and be mature enough and realize that some people don't have the capacity to be more than what they are. That doesn't mean I have to accept your toxicity, but I don't have to become toxic like you.
Right, right.
So we have to accept that sometimes you said this around, I'm raising a little girl by myself. I'm a thug sometimes with my daughter. If she was a boy, she would be punching her chest a million times. She's 12, so you already know what that means. Here's the thing we don't talk about enough. We talk about men and their mental health and about family and cutting people off. When God takes people from you, you'll think twice about cutting everybody else off, which is already disconnected. We don't talk about men who raise their children enough and that mental health piece and grieving how, as a man, most women don't even acknowledge that men are present.
Yeah.
We always give kudos to the woman. That woman is this, that woman is that. But what about the fathers who are doing the same job you've been doing? And we don't get to celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Come on.
Nobody says to me, Happy Mother's Day.
Right.
And so I don't have that benefit that a lot of us have to cut folks off because God has cut people off eternally. So I think twice about that, and that grief that we deal with, most don't deal or they don't talk to us about that because we struggle too. And so when you talk about that grief piece, and you talk about cutting people off, sometimes that switching the attitude, that frustration, that short-tempered stuff, you're grieving, you just don't talk about it. We were raised in a house with a man who never cried. Never saw, if mama died, dad died, we never saw him cry. Right? We saw him get angry though. So a lot of times we don't even know how to grieve, how to break away from what we were raised in.
Right.
But he taught us how to cry when he was angry.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. It didn't start with you. How inherited family trauma shapes us, and how to put Mark Wogan, I believe is his name. So we have to get to that point and realize some stuff started with your great grandma. It deals with going 3 generations deep. Anyway, that's.
I want to give you something else. When people are alive, a lot of our connection with people, as we're older, it's through social media, right? So a lot of times, man, you gonna cut them off emotionally, and they know it, and you know it, and y'all don't talk. So they'll make a Facebook status, you like, oh, they talking about if something going on in your house, and you be like, man, women don't never listen. Oh, so this what we don't like.
Yeah.
You will think that they're talking about you. Sometimes you can't follow me. I don't delete, I don't unfriend, I just unfollow. That don't mean I don't like to see it with the truth about it. That mean I don't want you to eat. I'm not my table, I need my peace. So my peace is the most important thing to me. I protect it with all costs. I want peace in my life. I think most men want peace because we understand what good during the time of war. I don't want war with you. I don't want war with you. I promise you I know what I'm doing. And I'm trying not to do all this. I'm nice. I'm a funny guy. I promise you. You think your world was unmasked? Don't make me do better.
Gerard is giving me to wrap it up, but what I want to do is, I want to hear from a young person. Because your voice matters. Eli.
Tell us how you feel. For the parents in the room, how many you do?
Not all things I said one thing I hear often, but respect. So when it comes to these conversations, stand up, spouse, wherever you're at, works. You can have a disagreement without having disrespect, without being disrespectful. It's like when y'all talking about things we wrong. You stop being friends with someone without talking about it. Right. It's a big thing. Disrespect, be kind. Lord, when the people y'all know, that's my God. So y'all talk about people who stay consistent and talk about it. That's like my guy with that. I talk to him, he probably be 3 in the morning. He be like, sleep. What's going on? That's just me. So you need to be you know what I'm saying, president needs the ball, right? Matter of fact, Adonis, what do we do before we leave the house? Say what I can hear you.
Pray.
Who said it first? And then who else said it? Then who said after that? And who finished? You got to set an example for them. So the biggest thing is, we were talking about comments. I won't go deep into this because my deal with what I learned, I speak bad about my parents. But my parents, as my God siblings, that's my godmother, who took me, because of what they went through. As I got older, I always said now, like my dad, and with him, with Ashley and my second born, I started realizing, how easy. So once you, I think someone said, once you become aware of that with yourself, then that's when the process of healing and change starts. Because that praying thing, just started that little flashing. Before that, I said, I didn't care because he didn't do that in my family. But once I realized that I changed with them, now I can get on the phone and call my first mother, call my first father, regardless of how they speak. I don't speak the same way back because they don't have the control.
We're gonna shift, Mr. Pullum is gonna read a poem, a small poem, and then the dancer.
And it goes back, and I shared this with Gregory and Gerard and Todd. This is from a 5th grader. The title is, It's Always Something With Us. I breathed long, you call it attitude. I walked away, you say I'm being disrespectful. You ask me to speak my mind, then you get mad when I don't. So what am I supposed to be? Quiet, loud, perfect, sorry? You hate my music, my friends, my tone, my silence. You think I'm changed, but maybe I'm just becoming whatever what you never let me be. You see, I'm not really one of your friends, but I don't even talk to them like this. I tell you, I don't have to explain. This time, just to be doubted anyway. I say I'm tired, you say I'm late. I say I'm sad, you say I'm getting mad. I say I need my space, you take it personal. You say it's tough love, but I just feel the toughness. But sometimes I would wish you would ask, are you okay? Without the lecture right behind it. But sometimes I want to scream, but I know to just prove your point. So I keep it in, I bite my tongue, and wait for the moment you remember I'm your daughter, not your enemy. That's a 5th grader. And what I say, she's hurting. So I have 4th graders who are hurting. I have 3rd graders who are hurting. I have kinders who are hurting. So my point is that we need tomorrow on Monday, be present at each school. Like I said, I have a nonprofit. It's called Just My Choice, Labor My Choice. And our slogan is Frederick Douglass. It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken things.
Right.
So if, again, we plant the seed and nurture it and water it, it will forever give us fruit.
So thank you, everyone. We just got a quick 5-minute dance session. We got some praise dancers here. Young kids, if you would, just show them your support and let us get this set up real quick. They said they only.
Go back to husband. We go to barbershop. We go to news. We go to 70% of the black kids.
Yeah, I'll get to you later after. Yes, so.
Right here. Wait, right there. Wait, y'all. Okay, we'll just need to get right up to this. It is. Yes, Bluetooth. I'm just like this over just a little bit. Yes. Yes, where? Yes, I was.
He's been on the hallway.
Okay, I'm just slide over here. You got to sit yours. Okay. Yes.
Every mistake, every struggle you feel like you can't let go of. I come to declare today that the curse is broken. The enemy is trying to make me believe that my past is who I am. That the mistakes I made from yesterday is all that I would ever be. I gotta be honest, it hurt me when they said, told me I would be nothing. Nobody in my family ever was. They said, you're just like your mama, just like your daddy. Never amounted to anything. But I'm glad I don't have to accept it. But that's not me. That's not me. That's not who I am. God gave me a promise. And on that promise, on that I stand. Curse is broken. Curse is broken. My past can't hold. Said I'm more, so much more. I'm more than I come. That's what he told me. That's what he told me. Somebody needs to know the curse is broken. Raise your voice and declare. Please declare. The devil is alive. The devil's alive. It's in God's will for me to be you. Oh, the enemy is trying to make me believe that my past is who I am. That every mistake I've made, mistakes I made from yesterday is all that I could ever be. But I have to declare over my own life that that's not me. That's not me. That's not who I am. God gave me a promise. All that I stand. The curse is broken. Somebody needs to know today. My past can't hold. My past can't hold anymore. I'm more than I come. That's what he told me, and I'm glad about it. That's what he told me. I'm glad about it. And the curse is broken. The curse is broken. Somebody needs to lay your hands on yourself and speak it. And all his trust, all his trials on you. The devil's alive. Is in his will. So God's will today, oh Lord. The mistake, it's not who I am, no. The lies they told, it's not who I am, no. My past. who I am because it's broken in my life. Young lady, you need to know the misfortune you went through. It's not who you are. Tell your disease. That's not who you are. The curse is broken. Now make this confession. That's who I am. Say I'm free. That's who I am.
Let's give them another hand. As we're preparing to close out, we talked about grief, we talked about safe space, we talked about trauma. But what we really talked about is what we call hope. There's hope where our community comes together, that there will be healing. Where healing won't be hidden, it'll be present in every aspect of our lives. And what I challenge you to do, brothers and sisters that are here, young men that are here, here's what I challenge you to do. Tonight, call somebody who's in your phone and say, I'm here for you. If there's anything that you need day and night, I want to be present in your life. Because we can do it. We've talked about it, we've discussed it, but we can make it happen. But it takes one person at a time making a commitment to do something about the conversation that we've had today. And with that, we're going to pray. And my prayer is this: Father, we come to you today, asking that you will let us be true to who we are. Be true to the trauma that we've experienced. Be true to the challenges that we face. Be true to the brokenheartedness that we've experienced. We know, Lord, that you are one that can help us deal with the trauma, with the failure, with the challenges, with the chaos that life has offered us. Lord, we ask that you'll send an accountability partner to us, that you'll send somebody who can help us through life's journey. As you have, Lord God, when you sent them out 2 by 2. Send us the person who can walk with us through this journey called life. We thank, Lord God, those that organized this event, and let this not be the last event in Texas. But let us have it on a weekly basis and a monthly basis. Amen. That we'll be able not only to be talking about being healed, but we will be healed. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Amen. God bless you all. Is there anything else you are going to say? Hello, everyone.
All right.
I just want to first thank everybody for coming out on tonight. This was not my plan, but I'm glad that everyone came out. That Juwan and Gregory was able to make this event happen. Unfortunately, we had a lot of stuff to happen. A lot of stuff didn't happen, which is out of my control. But again, I know people gonna think what they want to think. But my most important thing is that I hope that you were able to take something from someone for this event. And then remember that when you're going through something, or that when you're dealing with something, just look around. There's other people that's going through certain situations in life as well. So regardless of what people say about you, what people think about you keep going, you stay focused. And again, I just want to thank each of you from the bottom of my heart for being here today, because you didn't have to.
Thank you, brother.
But you did.
Thank you.
And so from my heart to yours, I will be, and it's not my last run, I will be doing it in Dallas.
Yes, sir.
Again, people think what they want to think because I know my heart. And I know the money that I put out of my pocket into this. I sleep on the air mattress just to do this. Most people don't know. They don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but I know. I know. So again, I thank each of you from the bottom of my heart. And the ones who stuck by me, just know that this is not the end. It's not the end. Everybody enjoy the event?
Yeah.
Again, thank you each for today. If you need anything, you can always reach out to myself or Ryan. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you, not harm. One thing I don't play about is my family, my money. So I'm not going to play about nobody else.
And just a reminder, if you got product, books, anything else, and the therapist counselors that are in the audience, can you raise your hand? Yeah, I see you. So, just a reminder that we got resources in our community that we want to make sure we take advantage of. I'm not saying that they're free or anything, but at least you need to know that. You got books.
Yeah, I do have books that are here. The book about I'm Not Really Crazy, like Robert Mason, this way was based on some young people I had a conversation with. And they were saying like they want me to take these drugs. I don't really think that's wrong with me. And then I started looking into where they came from, and their environment and their parents and all that. It's like the environment is poisoning our young people. And we got to create spaces, safe spaces for our young people to come. Because I can remember the boys' club, I can remember the parks and the Rex, I can remember people who were there who volunteered their time. And that's what we have to have in our community to make sure these young people who are safe. And also, we have some other items back there as well. I also have a book, Why Does My Spouse Hate Me? It's a very interesting book. It's a good book for husband and wife to walk themselves through together. Because sometimes we end up in a situation where we're like, does this person hate me? So I put the title there that will get you to read it. And it can be a great Bible study for couples who are thinking about getting married, folks who are married just 2 or 3 months, and people who've been married for 30 years. They're creating discussion with you that's biblically based as well. And we also have some other things back there, some trinkets, some armbands, all those things are free. The books are for sale.
How much are the books and how many do you have?
I think it's what? Three of those. All the books are available on Amazon.
Okay.
And I think it's how many of those? 10, and the books are $20 a piece.
Okay. And you taking payments today, just cash?
Cash App. We can do Cash App. I'll do Cash App. Cash App. I'll take food stamps with.
Thank you, everybody. You had something?
Yes, I'm Cynthia Titus. I am 29 year in education. I've seen a lot of things, and I am a 7-time husband. But my last piece was a wellness journal for kids. I know we as adults go through a lot of things in life, but our kids are really going through. So you can get my book on Amazon. I have 7 books, and I have another one coming out in February. So if you want something for your child to express yourself, you want to know what's really going on with them, put a journal in front of them. And don't act like you are reading, but be vigilant in their life. So if you read what they're putting on paper, you'll know what's going on in their life.
And your name again?
Cynthia Tice, Y-O-U-S.
And your-
Eldest journal for kids.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, Gerard.
Hey, go ahead.
I was going to get it, but I didn't know I was coming. She told me about it at the last minute. I thought it was
I get you on the business side too, entrepreneur and trying to find my space in there too. So I love to look at
I love how you speak. I love I know that's my You want to try it? Yeah. You want to try it? Hey, how you doing? Thank you. Hey, how you doing, forever? How you been doing? Come on up.
Big spice.
Thank you so much, Amy.
I finally meet you, hello.
Every time I see you eat. Every time I see you eat. You gotta get some muscles. What's up, Jane? Jane, what's going
How you doing? I'm glad you showed up.
Is that what it is?
I sure good.
Yeah, at the house, I guess.
Yeah, so you move that chair back. I've been waiting. Appreciate you, man. You gonna go out. Hey, man.
See you later.
We're not away, boy.
I ain't crazy.
I'm telling you.
Hey, crazy out there. But I'll be looking.
I know.
Yes, I can.
You ready? Yes. Now,